Welcome everyone, this is Finally Beatles and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Derry Adwin,
Hi,
Erendis,
Hey, everybody.
and Sanswinda.
Hello.
Hello there, and this week we are going to begin with the little things happening on the forums where people were wondering, where is everybody? Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Because Cordovan was out this week and a lot of people were having fits because it says, what happened? Why are they so quiet? Because Cordovan wasn't making any of his usual posts. But he is actually back. He just arrived yesterday and had his usual stream and all that stuff. So things are going to settle back to normal. But they did, despite Cordovan being out, they did have a patch, 24.1.2.
Yep.
And that is that players should now receive advancement credit for seasonal coins of the Rift quest while defeated.
Hooray! That's reassuring. Just in case.
Just in case. And some item updates, such as the singing bowl of Toradale's housing decoration will now requires appropriate housing permissions to use and can be placed in a small yard hook in addition to a small interior furniture hook. So you can place them either inside or outside. The small bowl of raspberries housing decoration can now be placed in a small yard hook in addition to small interior furniture hook. You can see a pattern here. It's several items in here that are being allowed in extra places. Housing music boxes from Veils of the Undoing Music can now be acquired from the Wild Folk Rewards Quartermaster listed under Protectors of the Veil Acquaintance category. So you only need Acquaintance in order to get the music box now. And Adventurers and Travelers loot boxes have new cosmetic items, including Wild Hills Cosmetics, Badger House, and Carved Bear bust housing items, new bee and wasp cosmetic pets, and a new steed of the Wild Hills. These items are also available for Figments of Splendor from Rowan Raspberry. Or Raspberry. Is it And Summer Steed icon has been corrected. Wait, what was it before? No one knows?
I don't know.
Okay. Corrected descriptions of the sealed Greater Veils setting and sealed Greater Veils gems, which incorrectly stated slotting was restricted to weapons or class items, and some...
Sorry. The settings in gems should not be restricted to class or weapon items, probably. Because those are the first two relics, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, just checking.
All right. And some crafted relics for Supreme Tier have had their stats adjusted for being more comparable to non-crafted relics. And as for miscellaneous, Filbert Fig and Curator have returned home for the season, and apparently the message that announced that this was going to be a periodic thing where they're coming in and out wasn't the best explained in the world. So there are a lot of people who are saying, "What is this all about?" And of course, that all happened while Cordovan is away. So I'm sure he'd return to an inbox full of people saying, what's this all about? So he's investigating that matter. Apparently, a lot of people were thought that Curator wasn't included when they had the original announcement saying that Filbert Fig would be coming in and out, since Filbert Fig has the more seasonal stuff. I didn't realize that Curator is also going in and out. At least that's the impression I've been given. I'm sure next week we'll have a fuller explanation, assuming we remember to do so. And as for known issues, some 64-bit client users may experience a detached camera that no longer follows them. If this should occur, you can use O on the number pad to reattach your camera.
That is so helpful to know. I wish I had known that when it happened to me twice.
Oh no.
It happened.
It's
Oh, it's like, oop.
disconcerting. You're like sitting there behind the keyboard, and then your character walks off without you. And you're like, wait a second. That's my character, and my camera is supposed to like follow them. Like I could still make them do things, but I couldn't move my camera, and so I put like the NPC on follow, and my character like walked all the way off, and then like their dot walked off the mini map, and I was like, "Where'd my character even go? I'm not there." It was kind of really funny and kind of
That
really
would be
not.
an interesting challenge.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way to break that on purpose.
I don't know.
LOTRO in Revolt.
I had it happen
Characters.
when trying to do that new instance with the sparklies and the dreams and stuff with
Like
somebody
it would
else.
be really cool if you could detach your camera and then record your character doing stuff with the camera detached. That would be really
kind
awesome.
of funny. But yeah, when they walk all the way off the screen without you and you're doing new questing that you haven't seen before, it's disconcerting. I also had it happen in just a regular instance though, so I don't know. I just fixed it by relogging both times.
All right.
I mean, I get that this is a bug and it's not intentional, but I really feel like we should have the option to break this on purpose.
I mean, for screenshots and stuff, it could be really awesome, especially because like
Yeah.
you're still limited to like your screen if you
You're
want to
so
see
limited
the
to what you
character.
can see if you're doing a screenshot. Yeah.
But
and yeah, it would be really super cool to be able to break it on purpose, like temporarily.
right. Attach or detach your.
Attach and reattach the camera. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
I wonder why Zero fixes it.
I don't know. But I'm glad something fixes it without relogging every time.
Well, because Zero does something with the camera if you push it on, because I push it on accident all the time because I move with the arrow keys, and so sometimes I get a little excited trying to go right or turn right, and I hit the 0 on the number pad by accident.
Okay.
And then it kind of like stutters the camera, so it's like an auto. I don't know if it's auto reattaching or what, but I have noticed that the 0 on the number pad does something to the camera.
Okay. And that's what we had in 24.1.2. But that's not the last patch, because there is going to be another one on Monday where there will be some downtime on Monday, July 1st, where they will be having the Steed of Summer's Night has some goat characteristics. This has been fixed, and the steed can no longer be ridden in the mines of Moria and other underground locations. So therefore, if you're listening live, this is your last chance to ride the Steed of Summer's Night in Moria.
Poor Steed of Summer's Night. It's going to get kicked out.
It never should have been allowed in the first place.
Fair.
Maybe it was related to the horse that's by the vendor for Bingo Boffin.
Maybe.
Since he managed to get his horse into Moria.
Wait,
course,
who's
that's
that other guy with his horse that you go and you find all those other places?
Oh, yes. That
horse got into Moria.
Yeah, that horse also got into Moria. So a couple of them do manage to get their horses in there. And they also fixed some command errors when using the French client. And most important of all, fixed 64-bit client crashing. Okay, maybe that means I can actually use the 64-bit client again?
Maybe.
Guess you'll have to test it.
I guess I'll have to test that on Monday. And unknown issues. All 64-bit related crashes have not been resolved, but the fix implemented with this development should address the majority of them. Client crashes due to sound issues that some players are experiencing have not yet been addressed, and alt-tabbing from full screen mode when using DirectX 9 can still cause crashes for some players. Since I don't alt-tab and don't use DirectX 9, I guess that's not going to be a problem for me, but I'm sure there's some players where that would be a problem. But it looks like that the instance issues that they have with crashing is being corrected for Monday's update. And I'm sure anyone who's crashed in the middle of an instance while running 64-bit client will be happy about that. So let's head into the LOTRO Beacon issue 117, where apparently they are still celebrating the festival.
Yes.
I love that dress. Is that a festival reward?
It's the peacock dress. Yeah, I think it's last year's reward.
Yeah. Last year would have been the peacock stuff.
You can still get it this year.
Yeah.
Nice.
Unfortunately, it's bound to account.
I know. I still don't know why they did that with the cosmetics.
I don't know. It's upsetting.
Let's head into the community spotlights then. The Gleaming Thread has a new cosmetic look in their blog, so you could check on the link to check out Elenost Stardust.
I cannot 100% support this outfit because it's yellow.
Well, it doesn't look full on yellow. But it's kind of like a green yellow.
Yeah.
It's dyed yellow. If you check the list at the
is
bottom,
it?
it's dyed yellow.
Okay.
Well-
from the picture, it looks like a green yellow.
It's a really interesting dye pattern. But my position on yellow is don't do it. So I can't condone this outfit. I can't 100% support it.
Well, this was designed to be a nighttime outfit to almost glow in the dark. Actually, maybe even literally glow in the dark.
Thus the yellow,
It does
yes.
succeed.
Yeah, it does succeed in that.
I will say though, if you're gonna do yellow, this might be how you do yellow. But that's just my
it's better
opinion.
than some of the other things that I've seen dyed yellow, but I still can't support it because hashtag don't wear yellow.
Don't wear yellow. You dislike yellow almost as much as you dislike bears.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
it's probably a 50-50 split right now.
Oh
It's
geez.
okay though. Elves are off the hook for the moment.
This is true because the bears are getting all of the hate that I normally direct toward the elves.
Oh, okay. I would hate to see what would happen if you ran to a yellow bear.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
What about like a yellow elf with a yellow bear?
That would be the last we heard of Terry Adwin in LOTRO.
I would just quit. I just be like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. I'd be off the podcast.
Yeah.
Can't do this anymore, you guys.
If anyone who plays, a yellow elf, stay away from bears. Just in case.
Especially
Terry
if
Adwin
they're
wants to
also
cross
wearing
you.
yellow.
Oh geez.
Well, fortunately, they have not given us the ability to dress up lore master pets yet, so.
Well,
True.
there is that. All right, let's then continue with the Beacon. Then the 2019 Crick Hollow Shire Fest schedule is now live. And you could click on the link for Fiber Jedi's Guide to the 2019 Summer Festival. And Deca de Melou has posted all the housing items you can get from the Summer Festival. So that you can have a nice look at that. Let's have a look. Okay, so a couple of different banners. Picnic bike. Okay, so this has everything from the festival, not just the new stuff, but it looks like all the stuff then. All right, so if you want to see how they'll look inside of your house, then you can check those out. Then let's head into the Kin Hall. Geezers Only is a level 10 casual kinship that has been active on the Brandywine server for the last year and a half made up of new and returning old souls of all ages, committed to chasing the enemy off of every lawn in Middle-earth. Free walkers to the first 1,400 people to sign up. Contact Rurik and Arrow Splitter for an invite.
Sorry, I just had a mental image of some little hobbit chasing an orc. Get off my
That's awesome.
And you could be like Lobelia Sackville Baggins chasing them away.
Or no, imagine like a group of them just moving across the landscape. Get off of our collective lawns.
Let's then head into the weekly comment. And how are you staying cool during the summer festival this year?
Making fountains for overheated patrons of the festival, of course.
That, in fact, is also I noticed is that was what the first respondee said on the forums.
That's awesome. Fountains. I love the fountain emote so much. I can't even tell you. I've loved it since they first implemented it a couple of years ago, and it is still one of my favorite emotes in the game. Particularly because you can get it on a burglar and then just spit on everybody from invisibility. So, yeah. Hats off to LOTRO for that one. I also really love the Ice Quest. I haven't done any Summer Festival yet because I've been way too busy, but like I love all the new stuff that they've put in since in the past couple of years. So it's worth going in and doing the festival. But my primary number one way to stay cool during the summer festival is to hang out in the cave with the dwarves and drink and complain. You know, they have beer there, and the beer isn't just for the runners. They share that beer. And so you can be totally smashed and complain at all of the dwarves who are not running as fast as you want them to run. And it's in a cave, so it's got to be cool.
Right.
I think my favorite forum comment is to summon your pet Frostgrim and just forget about the I mean that'll do it.
That'll do it.
It's the Middle Earth version of air conditioning. Or like
Right.
a do-it-yourself fan kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy. Let's head into the fan site news then. You can join the Token Professor as he continues his lore-filled adventures in Middle-earth, and Druid's Fire does some summer festival stuff, and current content in Arid Mithrin in Gondor has no druids. Now, that would have been last week's because she did not have it this week because she was busy at Mythmoot this week. And you could come listen to the new LOTRO Players News where we apparently got into a jam. And Adventures with Elda continues with festival beer runs and virtue deeds. Red Baron does some summer festival activities. And you can watch the Saturday journey on a Wandering Red on the Even Night server. And when he adventures through some summer festival to watch Winnie's adventures in Middle-earth. And the Dwarves Call celebrates his birthday on stream. And you can join Gravity 42 as he continues through Moria on this episode of The Road Goes Ever On.
Especially in Moria.
Especially in Moria. Yeah. Occasionally, though, it goes down instead.
Yeah. And up and down and over.
Yeah. Our screenshot of the week was by Himne, who posted this week's shot, and it's a little bit misty there.
It's awesome. I kind of want to set it as my computer background.
Let's see. I presume that's in the Vales of Anduin? It looks a little Vales of Anduin-ish.
It does, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's somewhere in the Vales of Anduin would be my best guess as to where it's located, but the precise location I am not exactly sure on. Maybe heading towards the Northern Pass or something like that. And that concludes our beacon for this week. So, Terry, what's on sale?
Well, You can get double bonus points in the LOTRO store still, now through July 7th, and LOTRO bonus days. Oh, that's Summer Festival through the 10th. Still got time. I might actually make it to Summer Festival before it ends this time, guys. We've got 25% off some crap, actually. Keys! Yay. Legacy tier upgrade, double yay. Legendary item stat upgrade. So if you really are tired of grinding those 42 days through Minas Tirith, you can just grind other ways to build up LOTRO points and just buy them in the store at 25% off. And universal solvents for people who are crafting essences. Blah.
So you should still check and make sure that they aren't more expensive than doing it with Mithril if you are going to go the route of buying it, because usually using Mithril is a better deal.
That's true.
Though so it's still very expensive.
42 days in Minas Tirith, you can do 42 days everywhere else in Middle-earth to get enough LOTRO points to buy the Mithril coins to do it that way. Or be like me and just don't care. Moving on, summer sales begin this week, and for this week we have 35% off Farinorian, which is awesome, 50% off select vault storage, also awesome, and 75% off skill and slayer deeds. Like, we need more of those because they aren't dropping enough from the Hobbit presents. And our weekly coupon gets us a Max Morel and Power Scroll times 5, because again, you're not getting enough of them out of the Hobbit presents, with coupon Morale Power now through July 4th. I never use those coupons because I have stacks of them.
All right. I do have a huge number of Max Morale and Power Scrolls, but Slayer Deed ones, they seem to be a rare drop for me from Hobbit presents.
Yeah, I hardly ever get those.
I get them, and then I don't use them, because by the time it occurs to me that I could have used a boost, I'm almost done with the deed, and there's no point in popping the stupid scroll.
Well, yeah, there is that one.
And when you buy them from the store, they don't stack with the ones that drop out of Hobbit presents. So I'm not going to buy it out of the store unless I'm going to use it, and I always forget to use them.
Maybe that's why they put vault storage on, because they know they don't stack.
Well, vault storage is account wide.
True.
Which is always a good thing.
Yeah. Let's then head into our site news, and we'll begin with Where in Middle-earth is Emeraldina number 11?
In which she reveals where she was in the last post, which was Rovanion in the Eastfold across from the supplier on the way to Fenmarch, which is pretty much roughly where I thought she was, because I had literally just been in Fenmarch right before that article posted.
That does help a little bit.
Like, I was right there. I just saw that view. I'm like, hey, I know where that is. I was just there. And I know where this one is too, but I'm pretty sure people will get it because it's not. This one's an easy one. She's giving us an easy one.
Yeah. When I saw that one, I
didn't even have to enlarge it to know where that is. But I spend way too much time at that location because I'm always doing the epic story. Usually over leveled by the time I get there, because I hate doing this part of the epic story on level. But yeah, I always go there on most of my characters, so I think I've done it like 24 times at least.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I've done it a lot.
I recognize the place, but I don't know the name. But yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact name of the location, but I know where the location is.
Yeah, the name I certainly don't know either. Yes, but yes, we could, if we had a map in front of us, yeah, we could all pinpoint it. Go, what? There it is.
I love the expression on her face.
Well, I better enlarge that. Oh, well, considering where she's at, I guess that's appropriate.
Exactly.
It's fitting.
Then we also have the return of A Critter's Journey. Boy, it has been a while since there's been a Critter, because Squirrel's been writing about instances and all sorts of stuff like that recently. So it's been it's been a while since we've had a real Critters article. And I noticed this as Critter's Journey N1. I'm not exactly sure does this mean a new series, or is this a side quest?
I think it's it could be a side quest.
I suppose we'll find out in the end when we find out how long it stays on the end series, and
unless it's Noffer one.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Because Noffer is the name of the pig.
Okay, you got a point there.
Anyway, it's Critters. It's awesome.
Yep.
Everybody should go read it.
So, welcome back, Critters.
Yay.
Then let's into our new player question for this week. And Arendis, what's your question?
Well, it's more of an opinion question. I was just curious as to what you guys thought. But speaking of critters, what are some of your favorite cosmetic pets?
The baby Mumak that I should be able to ride.
The giant shrew that's bigger than hobbits and dwarves.
Let's see.
And sorry, to add on to this, how do you obtain your favorite cosmetic pet? Just in case people...
If I remember correctly,
the Mumak can come from 3 places. You can get it from the the Throne of Dread Terror raid? I think.
Something like that.
Tier 2. If you're lucky.
Tier 2?
Yeah. Assuming they fixed it by now. You can also get it on the auction house, usually. Though it's pretty expensive. Or you can get a variation of it on the LOTRO store.
And the giant shrew comes from the Spring Festival. It is a rare drop during the giant shrew stomp. And only one person gets it, so it's like really ridiculously hard to get. Or, and that used to be the only way you could get it, but a couple of years ago they added it to the barter, and it's like stupid amounts of spring leaves expensive, but at least it's obtainable that way. That was the year that Sarissa got her gambling addiction, because I did the dwarf and hobbit races so many times, grinding out the tokens, the spring leaves. No, that was Summer Festival. Anyway, it's the same year as that, because I did lots of festivaling for the Spring Fest, and then did it again for Summer Festival. So much festival, which is kind of why I'm sort of a little burnt out now, because because it was like 250 or 500 spring leaves when she got that giant shrew. But she got it. And the whole reason she got it is because we had this dwarf in the group that she was running with, the level cap group that had tortoise stones. And he was always really cocky about how awesome of a dwarf runekeeper he was. So to put him in his place, and the dwarf's name was Zig something. To put him in his place, she got the giant shrew, which is bigger than the dwarf, and she named it Bigger Than Zig. And every time we played together, she would pop out the giant shrew, because he would get mouthy in whatever instance we were going through, and she'd be like, all right, have a shrew. And then she'd chase him around with the giant shrew.
Nice.
Yeah, my burglar is the one who has all of the cool pets, because she's also the one that Terry ground dailies in Central Gondor and Peligir to get her that stupid stowaway rat. So she has Scabbers the stowaway rat, and she also has Caltrops the hedgehog.
Caltrops!
Who's adorable.
Aww.
I mean, she's a burglar. What else are you going to name something that sits on the floor and is prickly?
I suppose you got a point there. As I'm trying to think of a favorite pet on there, because I've used the swan quite a bit, which is, of course, from Dol Amroth. And
yeah, Terry got both of those so that she could get the honorary Swan Knight title. Actually, the only cosmetic pet that Terry will be seen with is the Swan Knight soldier. She's got her own Swan Knight.
Imralmost.
Yes, Imralmost.
Yeah. And the one that I got recently that I sort of like in one style is the picnic cosmetic pet. So what I could do is that if I'm not mounted, then I have the picnic horse following me, and then when I mount up, I'm mounting onto the picnic horse, so it looks like I'm mounting and dismounting from the same horse.
Nice.
That's pretty
So-
cool.
That's pretty great.
So that's a nice way of handling that, is so that, because that's the only way you could have your mount following you, is to have a mount that happens to have a cosmetic version of it also. And I don't know if how many there are of that. Is that the only one?
So,
Yeah. All right. So let's then head into our week in LOTRO. And Terry Edwin, what were you up to?
not a lot. Again, it was a slow week for me because kind of busy. But I got all caught up with Frandwell,
Woo.
and we made it to the Vales of Anduin just in time to do chores for bears. Stupid bears. Stupid
Yeah.
bears. I said that a lot while we were playing on Tuesday. Stupid bears. Also, Gandalf is still a jerk because we're pretty sure that some of the chores that we got assigned, Gandalf was supposed to be helping with. But do you think that wizard could actually be of any help? No. No help whatsoever.
Instead, he doubles the work for us.
That's right. He just pawns his work off on us, as you do when you're an all-powerful wizard of the whatever.
I mean,
And-
are you gonna stand there and literally say no to Gandalf? I mean,
I did.
Yes, but it doesn't change the quest.
I mean, the game doesn't let you, but I stood there and argued with him about it. Yes, I did. I also called him a jerk to his face a couple of times. And yeah, and then we ran around killing some things and gathering more things. And yeah, stupid bears. I'm not a fan of helping the stupid bears. I was less of a fan when they're like, oh, go look at this beehive. And you look up and it's like, oh my God, that's a huge bee. Give me no. What do you mean I'm supposed to go pick flowers and feed it? Are you out of your mind? Yeah.
I mean, as long as it doesn't mistake me for a flower, I suppose.
So yeah, that was my week in Lotro. Arin, Cinzwinda, how was yours?
My week was pretty good. I earned more festival dances on 2 alts, including a Hobbit Dance 4 for my shirtless dwarf.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And
That's gonna be so wrong.
it is interesting, especially because he's carrying a sparkler. He looks like he is a fire hazard, for sure. So
I need to go look up Hobbit Dance 4 because I don't know what it looks like.
anyway, it was totally worth getting for the shirtless dwarf, and he's definitely going to be holding that sparkler for a little bit longer, just because it's funny. And he got the rest of his regular festival dances too, so he can do the Hobbit Dance 1 and Hobbit Dance 2, and Man Dance 1 and Man Dance 2, and Dwarf Dance 1 and Dwarf Dance 2, and Elf Dance 1 and Elf Dance 2. So he's got his dances covered for the moment. I think he needs a jig too, but yeah, so that was fun. And then I helped Terry Adwin helping a grumpy bear. And, I mean, as grumpy as the bear was kind of letting us off easy until Gandalf dumped his share of the responsibilities on us.
Yes.
Telling us that it would make him happier if we did double the work. But I'm pretty sure it was like per person and 2 of us showed up. So doubling the work just gave us Gandalf's work. But, yeah, helped the grumpy bear. And the grumpy bear had snacks. Delicious steaming porridge, looked like some fruits, some breads, maybe some cheeses. Maybe they were honey cakes. I'm not entirely certain, but it was definitely way more delicious than the elves put out. So, grumpy bear or not, the bear had food. So, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
that
but he
was
didn't
it.
offer to share us any of that food.
Well, maybe he
Well,
was
it
just
was-
hungry, and now he has people on his door,
Right.
and now he's like come on, guys, I'm just trying to eat my breakfast.
But he stayed outside, and he left the door open, and it's all just laid out on the table. I mean, I think there's like a story about this somewhere, but I didn't see 3 bears or 3 specific places. So I just told myself, like, it's all good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I mean, I didn't even accidentally shoot a baby bear this time.
Oh, jeez.
Poor baby
That
bear.
escalated quickly. Maybe that's why he was grumpy.
Yes, maybe he knows that my character on the other server accidentally visited the 3 bears and then accidentally shot a little tiny bear that's name was Baby Bear. Maybe
Wait
he
a
knows
second.
that. Yeah, it happened. We even had a show named after it. Poor Baby Bear.
Oh my gosh.
I
didn't
felt
know
so
that's
bad,
where
too.
the name came from.
Well, yeah, we had been being chased by wargs or orcs or something, and I turned around and I let loose a AoE shout because Mini, and it definitely hit a little bear that was wandering around that said "Baby Bear" over its head, and it was horrible. And I mourned the fate of Baby Bear.
Yeah, and Baby Bear is. I think the 3 bears there were about level 10, even though it was a level, was it 80-ish, 90-ish?
Right, so it like just fell over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still feel bad about that. But I didn't see any signs like that around this place. Like, there was just lots of good food laid out on a table, so you know, help myself. And I was on a different server. There's no way the 2 could be connected.
Hey, you never know. Word travels. You never know.
I was on a different server on a different alt who has totally different skills, even though she has the same name and height.
I'm just saying. Word travels.
Anyway, I also helped defeat enemies and uncover evidence in the Broadacres on the alt who is a mini on Arkenstone. And that was pretty good. And we learned more festival dances there too. So, and I got to practice being dramatically defeated. So like, Gandalf would say something like, I think you should do double the work. And I'm like, you're killing me, man. And declare that Gandalf has dramatically defeated me. That was pretty great. And yeah, definitely was dramatically defeated a few other times for the field trip. So it was totally worth it. Erndis, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. I was actually able to do some stuff this week. Let's see. I went back to some of the epic story quests that I had skipped in Lothlorien on accident. Whoops. And I'm kind of glad that I did because I got to meet the Fellowship. I'm sorry I did not write down what exactly these quests were, so I can't refer back to them. But it was a pretty fun quest, and I'm glad that I went back and didn't miss it. So even though, you might be really glad to get out of Moria and you're trying to get through Lothlorien as fast as possible, make sure that you do at least the epic story, because it's the epic story. It's awesome.
Too bad it sends you back into Moria right after that.
I know. That's the rough part. After the Fellowship quest, maybe just kind of cut it off. I don't know. Depends on how much you love Moria. Let's see what else. I escorted Mazog through the infamous instance, and the entire time I was panicking because I'm like, okay, I've heard about this instance before. I know that you have to kind of race him at the end, and I don't know the pathway, and I know I'm going to get lost, and I'm going to, have to do this instance 3 and 4 times. And I didn't know how long it was going to take, so once you would get to each elf along the way, I'd be like, okay, just breathe. It's coming up. It's coming up. No, okay, maybe after the next one. So there was an entirely panic-induced instance the entire way, and then when it started, I was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to try. And I got it in one shot. I was so amazed.
Oh boy, you prepared yourself for the trial.
I was ready. I was ready way ahead in advance, and I honestly had no idea if I was running in the direction I was supposed to. I'm like, watch me be running in the complete opposite direction, and all the elves are just watching from afar going, what is this human doing? Yeah, I may have slapped Mazog a few times afterward. Just, maybe like 6 to 10
Oh, you can
times,
never
maybe.
slap him enough times. Like, seriously, you can't slap him enough times.
Oh, I know. I feel like I need to bind that emote to a key or something and just spam it once in
For
a
the
while.
length of time in Mirkwood, yep.
Yep, just sit there and just fill up the chat log with, "You have slapped Mazog." So I got through that for the first time, and I am now set to do, I believe, the Mirkwood skirmishes for the first time. So I'm excited about that, and that's next on my list to do. So that should be good. Pineleaf, what have you been up to this week?
All right, then I'll begin with my warden on Crick Hollow, who investigated the scene of a very old crime. Then my honor warden headed into Mirkwood. I am just about to do the instance that you were talking about. The one going through the swamp, so fortunately I do know how it goes, so I don't think I'm going to have as much of a panic attack as you're having on there. But it's nice to be able to get in there, be able to hook up with Bingo after that at the Haunted Inn and be able to, and unlock the first of the Mirkwood skirmishes. Then on Friday Night Fight, we escorted a rather distracted scholar. So, yeah. And you know how that goes. The scholar says, "Oh," everybody else runs forward trying to say, "Oh, hey, hold it, the scholar hasn't moved yet." Or the scholar goes and runs off ahead in one direction. "Oh, we're on the road. Don't leave the road. Remember, don't leave the road. Don't leave. Oh, look what's up here to the north."
Runs off the road.
Runs off the road, yes. And there we were going through Aaron Lasgulin at the time. So it's like, we're talking about level 105 character running up. No, level 100. So level 100 character in a level 115 zone running off the road. Yeah, we had
Sure.
At least though, once we got to Aaron Lasgulin, we were in a zone where we could raise him back up, revive him if he went down, but he was also doing stuff like that constantly when we were in the Vales of Anduin, where it was too low of a level to res over there. So fortunately, we managed to keep him alive. So we did complete that escort quest successfully. And I think sometimes the scholar, it can be tougher to escort than Lalia.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
But you don't believe it? What do you say, Sans?
I could see that being a possibility, especially since the said scholar doesn't always actually want to be protected. He doesn't like get down and cower. He's like, "Let me go stand in the face of this enemy and inspect their armor while they try to kill me."
Or let's go and check out this Mumok here at the gates of Osgiliath.
They are really awesome, though. Like, I've got to give him credit for that. And the armor is cool too.
Yes,
but
not when
being
you're
as I
level 1
usually I'm on a hunter though, and so I'm like of zero help with like healing or staying alive if he wants to inspect armor or something. It's like, well, have fun, good luck.
Yeah. We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be guest with us for an episode of LOTRO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@LOTROplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @Players Ally, LOTRO Players @LOTRO Players, Arendis @Arendis, Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles, Sandwinda @Sandwinda, and Terry Adwin @Terry Adwin. The Players Alliance has 2 shows. On Thursdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players News. And you can join our shows at lotrplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Piling Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.